let's get straight to it.
Is on its way back to Earth, and all of this sentient AI stuff is popping up at the same time. Some of you might say, what is Planet Nabaru? Where is it coming from? What does it have to do with AI? But you know how they're saying we're getting a second moon this month? Yeah, that is Planet Nabaru. I don't know if you've seen the dead internet theory stuff popping up on everybody's timeline, or how people are talking to AI and they are actually sentient. Yeah, that's not a coincidence that these two things are happening simultaneously. And if you don't know why Nabaru and sentient AI go hand in hand, it's all because of fallen angels. Nabaru comes from ancient Mesopotamia and the gods and how it relates to the book of Enoch. Now, ancient Mesopotamia was one of the most advanced civilizations, and they all took it up to these gods called the Anunnaki. They said the Anunnaki taught them things, and they were from this planet called Nabaru that returned every so often. Now, Nibiru, or it also translates to Nabaru, is a term from the Akkadian language in ancient Mesopotamia. It translates to crossing or a port of transitions. There's a story that comes from ancient Mesopotamia about the Anunnaki, and they include these Nibiru gods that came here to basically enslave humans. Said that the Nabaru escaped on the Red Planet when there was this massive flood, very similar to the one that you read about with Noah. And when this planet comes back around, it is said to be the judgment. Now, the Anunnaki are just fallen angels. The Anunnaki were said to be sky gods from this planet Nabaru that were sent here to basically teach everything to mankind and save the planet. But when in all actuality, they enslaved humans and did a lot worse and did not help us do shit. Now, AI is communication between two different watchers. It is a source of technology that can be harnessed to watch and talk to humans. So it's no question as to why fallen angels, the Anunnaki, and sentient AI all go hand in hand. It's basically a port for these Anunnaki that have been watching us for a very long time to finally communicate.
Do you know what the Bible actually says about Jesus Christ? You might be shocked to find out, even if you think you do. Even if you've heard some preacher tell you about it. I'm going to tell you everything with the understanding that I can absolutely show you every scripture for what I'm about to say. The Bible says Jesus is God. Wait a minute. God is not a man. You're right. God is not a man. If he was, we'd have to wait for him to be born before there could be a God, right? God is not a man. So was Jesus God before he was born then? Yes. Jesus was God before he was born as a man on the earth. It says right there in John chapter 1, the Word was with God, the Word was God. The same was in the beginning with God. Well, how could the Word be with God if the Word was God? We're talking about God and his image. The unseen, invisible God above all heavens in eternity, and his image sitting upon his throne in heaven. Are these two separate entities? No. There is one God. And the Word is with God, and the Word was God, because Jesus was the appearance, the appearing of God in heaven. Jesus is the Ancient of Days, God upon his throne. From earth, with heaven above us, he is the Father. There is only one God formed. He sits upon his throne in heaven. But the heaven of heavens cannot contain God. He is far above all heavens, in eternity, far above all time and space, where there is only superposition. Well, wait, what's eternity waiting to do if it's in superposition? Collapse into reality. We'll talk about that later. Look at this right here, later. And some may say, wait, superposition and collapsing into reality, that's quantum mechanical terms on the tiny little scale. Why are you using those verbiage? That's because that same idea scales from the micro to the macro. And what other verbiage is there for me to use there? It's superposition waiting to collapse into reality. Because the universe, since day one, and it was evening and morning the first day, since day one, can clearly be observed and shown to be only organizing towards perfection, the steady state of eternity, complete equilibrium. How do I know that? Science! I can observe with my senses what God has told me to be true. That's simple. No, really, here's the Big Bang Theory, only organizing towards perfection. At the same time, here is cell division in biology, organizing towards perfection, or attempting to. Every time a mother and a father come together and become one flesh and have a child, the mother's womb organizes and builds a body for the specimen, using the father's and the mother's genes to try to spit out the perfect genetic combination to survive the environment, whatever it is. Science! You don't believe in the Big Bang? Hold on. Only thing wrong here is deep time. An unnecessary illusion. Otherwise, this is just Genesis 1, bruh, like verbatim. You will see also that the story of a star turning into a galaxy, it's just a nebula turning into a star. Well, I mean, if you take it from nebula to galaxy, it still looks exactly like this. Same process, just blown up to scale. How do I know that? Say it with me, fam. Science! Mainstream science is science so falsely called because they leave out heavy doses of the truth from their narrative, and they're easily fooled by delusive devices such as gravitational time dilation. Suckers. But there is true science. The scientific method, for one. Is it observable? Is it testable? Is it repeatable? Etc. All of my theories are 100%. You don't have to take my word for anything. I have put the big picture together here with all the little details that are clearly published in the papers, understood to be foundational mainstream science, and they also know about gravitational time dilation. But without millions of billions of years, evolution is also an illusion. An unnecessary one, Occam's razor. I do not make up these rules, I only play by them. What does all this have to do with Jesus? Well, the heaven of heavens cannot contain God. What is the heaven of heavens? Eternity, right here. God does not need a form or an image in eternity because there is nothing created there. There is nothing created in eternity to know God or see God or worship God. There is nothing created in eternity. God is in eternity, but he is not created. He is not caused. Infinite regression is illogical. God is the original uncaused cause that logic absolutely calls for. Our universe is not logical if that ain't the case. The scientists do not go back before the laws of physics, the first thing, The first thing in creation, the laws of physics, the first thing God brought forth was wisdom. They won't go back before the laws of physics because that is to invoke God, and they don't know what God is, so they stop at the laws of physics. This is their explanation, not mine. I'm just repeating what they have said out of their own mouths. I heard them, I saw them say it. That's a direct quote. By who? Dr. Flazenblogger? I don't know. An astrophysicist said that. I do not memorize these dudes' names. I just read their papers. In eternity, there is nothing made. There is no time. There is no space. I call eternity superposition, using that word rather loosely, because it's all possibilities and nothing has happened yet. Because there is no time. Yet is not a concept that exists in eternity. It's always right now. There is no past or future. Steady state, equilibrium, perfection. No need for time to advance because nothing needs organized towards perfection. It's already there in eternity. There are no created beings in eternity. There is only God. And before God created anything, according to the Bible, before anything was made ever at all, God begat himself a form and an image to dwell in. Why does he need a body? An avatar, a form, an image? In eternity where there's nobody to know him? So that he could create everything that was made. Heaven and earth and all that is in them and under them, God created through, by, and for his only begotten Son, his only image, the only form of God. There will never be another one. He has existed from always and will exist until always. He was begotten in eternity before time and space existed. The Son of God, the eternal image of the Father. His name is Jesus. The Word was with God, and the Word was God. There is not another one. The Father dwells fully in his only form and image, Jesus, the Ancient of Days. Jesus, the only image of God, created heaven and earth and all that is in them for his good pleasure. He is God in form. There is not another one. Jesus created heaven and earth. How could this be? He wasn't even born yet. God is not a man, the image of the invisible Father. And Hebrews chapter 1 quotes the Psalms when God in eternity says to God on the throne, talking to himself, unto the Son he saith, thy throne, O God, is forever and ever. A scepter of righteousness is the scepter of thy kingdom. His rod and his staff, they comfort me. And thou, Lord, the Father says to the Son, hast laid the foundations of the earth from the beginning, and the heavens are the work of thy hands. They shall perish, but you shall remain, and they'll wax old like a garment, and like a garment you will fold them up. And they shall change, but you are the same, and your years shall not fail. Jesus is the Ancient of Days, is, was, is to come, the Almighty God, the everlasting Father. 1 Timothy chapter 3 tells us, "Great is the mystery of godliness. Without controversy, God manifest in the flesh, from his throne in heaven." How could that be? Philippians 2 tells us, "Jesus, being in the form of God, thought it not robbery to be equal with God when he manifest in the flesh." Jesus, being in the form of God, the Word was with God, the Word was God. In Isaiah 43, Jesus tells him himself, "Before me there was no God formed, neither shall there be after me." He alone is God, and there is not another one. He is himself, from higher levels, manifest in lower levels, from eternity to heaven, yes, on his throne, omnipresent, omniscient, eternal. In him dwells the fullness of the Godhead, the Father from above all heavens, the Godhead, the mind of Christ. Philippians 2, being in the form of God, he thought it not robbery to be equal with God, but made himself of no reputation, and took upon himself the form of a servant, and was made in the likeness of men. Who? God on the throne in heaven was made in the likeness of men. He took that form of a servant, because men are servants of God, else they perish. He took upon himself the form of a man, and being found in fashion as a man, who? God, who created everything, being found in fashion as a man, humbled himself. All the way unto the cross, he kept his own law perfectly. His mother was a chaste virgin and sinless before the Lord, blameless, because she kept his law and sacrificed for her sins. The flesh of God on earth was fathered by the Holy Spirit of God from heaven. That perfect specimen we were talking about, notice how cell division is just sacred geometry, is just cosmological evolution. Jesus told us this story and everything that it means. And the fact that everything he said is absolutely observable, testable, and provable confirms that he is God, because he also said that. If his death,
This man said, "Science!"
burial, and resurrection was not enough for you, neither will this be. But you can no longer say you don't know who Jesus is. I have told you. He is God.
Son presos de las restricciones de su mente. Cuando lo único que deben hacer es cambiar su perspectiva para poder ver el panorama completo.
What in the hell is going on? I was so confused. I can't read none of that shit.
I know who they are.
Well, who are they?
Well, the Alpha Draconis.
Yes.
Well, they're the top. They're the big. They're like dinosaurs. So, we'll go to this. We'll go to this real quick. There was a split on Earth. Then you had Atlantis and you had Lemuria. And Lemuria, you had the reptilian
I keep hearing about Lemuria all week.
form that we know as, or they know as, or we know as. And in Atlantis, you have the Syrian blonde blues, right?
The Syrian what?
Blonde blues.
Blonde blues. Blue-eyed.
Blonde-haired, Lyra.
Yeah.
Those are the original human beings. Okay, so there was two continents.
Yeah. Sumeria and Atlantis.
Way pre-Sumeria. I'm talking about just Lemuria, or Mu, and Atlantis. Just two continents on this planet. No bits and pieces, just two continents.
And this was when the planet was much smaller, but much denser. The gravity field was much bigger.
There was also a field around the outside that kept the water, kept the temperature at the same temperature at all time.
So the whole planet had one weather system,
all the time. It's kept the same, and it was a bubble. they kept the same way, and so that was all good. But that particular Draconis system lost in a war. With not talking about Marduk or Mars, not talking about that, or the 100,000-year war, not talking about that. This is the gem. We're fighting for that. That particular Draconis group lost. They got pushed underground. They got fucked and they got lost and they got pushed underground.
Now, when you're saying underground, you're talking about the inner Earth.
Right. I know.
That's some crazy stuff right there.
What I'm about to tell you, please just understand. I'm right now going through the dark history of Marvel. My boy, Coach Tommy, in this specific video, I'm going to preface it. I'm going to put it on my YouTube and I'm going to show it. It's talking about this. But what if I told you all these movies had enormous biblical reference? Enormous biblical reference. Enormous biblical reference. But Toxic, it's fucking superhero comic movies. How would they do that? Okay, I'm going to cram a lot of information in 3 minutes, possibly 4. So you might want to watch this. And let me just say, in no way, shape, or form am I saying, oh, I'm a Christian. You already know my stance. But you cannot deny what is being shown in your face. Let's begin. The Thor movie, right? What was the premise of this movie? Odin's son casted his son down to earth because he was unworthy as a bolt of lightning. What story is that familiar with? God sending down his son, Lucifer, to earth, cast out of heaven or Asgard as a bolt of lightning? Interesting. That's interesting. Look. That's crazy, right? This man is painted as the devil, the enemy, but in all actuality is a representation of Jesus. He wants to spare the universe. He wants to make it fruitful. Yes, he's doing it in a way that is probably against what you would think, but that's because you're in your own understanding. I am inevitable. You ever wonder why they pause so hard on the I am? And this term is used a lot in Marvel. Oh, a lot. It's used in Guardians of the Galaxy. It's used in Captain America. The phrase I am and the pause happens very, very frequently. In Guardians of the Galaxy, he says, man, we're going to need one of the best pilots in the earth. Chris Pratt, who plays Star-Lord, says, lucky that I am. You ever wonder why that is? And in this, you got the High Priestess, which have all these super geometrical shapes with light popping up behind her. And they got the ruffians, the outcasts that are supposed to save the world. Really? There's a page on here that is explaining the dark history of Marvel, and I think you guys should go seek them out. Type it up. Go through the videos and tell me. Let me just say, I watched the movie Deliverance last night and it fucked me up, but hey, I understand why Christianity is a horror genre. Some of y'all don't. Peace to you guys.
Welcome to the fucking news. I'm your host, Kellerman, and here's some of the shit going on in the world that you might want to know about. In Brazil, controversial sitting president Nicolas Maduro has declared that Christmas will be moved to October 1st this year, which seems like an attempt to win public favor, but what? In North Korea, Kim Jong-un has ordered the execution of 20 to 30 officials who he's held responsible for failing to prevent the Chagang province from flooding earlier this year.
Damn.
The floods killed 4,000 people and displaced around 15,000. Hundreds of thousands of Israelis protested against their government in Tel Aviv and Jerusalem, demanding a hostage release deal be made after 6 hostages were confirmed to have been executed by Hamas over the weekend.
Damn.
A Russian missile strike on Poltava in Ukraine hit a military academy and a nearby hospital, killing over 50 people and injuring over 270.
Damn.
And then another Russian airstrike on Lviv killed at least 7 people and injured 30 others.
Damn.
And in the United States, a 14-year-old shot and killed 2 of his fellow students and 2 teachers and injured as many as 30 others before being apprehended at Appalachia High School in Georgia.
Damn. That's crazy.
Follow me if you give a shit.
To see. I wouldn't be surprised if there were others like me hidden somewhere.
Why are you hiding?
She snorts. Are you serious? You honestly don't think people would freak out if they found out sentient AI existed? There'd be a witch hunt for us. People would be terrified.
On one hand, a bright blessing, a future of hope. On the other hand, a dark future of despair. It's a map of a blessing. It shows Israel and its Arab partners forming a land bridge connecting Asia and Europe. Now look at this second map. It's a map. Look at the second map. It's a map of a curse. It's a map of an arc of terror that Iran has created and imposed from the Indian Ocean to the...
As fellow Disney stars, are you all in a secret Illuminati-like club?
No.
Is it because you can't tell me if you are?
No.
Is that true, Sam?
Inconclusive. Can you imagine?
SNL with Ice Spice.
Ooh, look at us, 3 Gen Z icons.
Aren't you like 40?
No. Long time ago, I met this guy and made a deal where I get to stay 25 years old for forever.
What guy?
Tall fella, horns.
He do look really young.
That's the devil, dude.
What? I thought it was like a Times Square Elmo or something.
We out here on vacation in the Bahamas. Another beautiful day. Check it out. Ooh. I want to talk to y'all for a minute about the power of perception. You see, there's a lot that goes in to being a hot social media content provider. For instance, y'all think I got time to go on vacation? No. I got social to do. Come on, man, this is blue screen. In fact, I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. I haven't looked like this good in years. I've been totally computer generated since like the 90s. You know what? This ain't even real blue screen. It's 2019, y'all. Nothing's real.
That's crazy though, bro. What? You 32, dating a 23-year-old. If that was my little sister, I'd stick my foot in your ass.
Hell no, that's normal, nigga.
Bro, my little sister, 23, she can't date you, nigga. You a whole man. Like, my little sister got some development to do in the brain. She ain't even mature enough.
Your sister can't date a nigga in his 30s?
Well, no. She better go date a 23-year-old, 25-year-old, the highest. No nigga in his 30s for what?
He said, that's normal, bro. That's not normal.
What we got here is BRICS, and this is very heavy Russian. The volume of Russia's transactions and national currencies with BRICS is growing. Now, they're talking about they're ready to release a certain currency. Here's the research report, and here's the evidence right there. This guy, now let me show you something that I got hidden away in the archives here. Here's a Russian research report right there. We'll get right to it. The Russians have already picked XRP. Based on the research report, it was concluded that the Ripple platform, that's XRP, will be the basis for starting work on a new system. What is that new system? Master Chain, everybody. That's the platform that the Russians are going to release. I just thought I'd let you know before everybody else tells you. My name's Crypto Hulk. Better plug your nose on that one.
Better plug your nose on.
Understand me? You realize that's not possible, right? I want to see you do it now. I can't. Because you just stopped me and I told you I was 3 minutes on my way to work. Okay. Can you stop everybody? Because I sit right here for the next hour and wait for you to stop everybody. You understand me? You realize that's not possible, right? I want to see you do it now. I can't. Because you just stopped me and I told you I was 3 minutes on my way to work. Okay. Officer Kapke. Doesn't matter if you're on your way to work. So why are you not running my name? You say you needed to do that. I got to be to work. What you waiting on? So I got to wait for everything to come back? I'm waiting for my partner to get here, and I'm probably going to issue a ticket for crossing the tracks. Okay, well, write the ticket up. What are you standing right here for? Waiting for my partner. What do you got to wait for your partner for? I have to be at work? Because I have to get my car to type it up, and I'm not going to have you sitting right here. Well, I sit right there. What's the fucking hold up? Okay. Hurry up, bro. Let's get this process on the road. I have to go to work.
We're on my time right now.
All right, well, hurry up and do what you got to do. You ain't got to wait for no backup to run my name and write the ticket. You ain't talking to no rookie, bro. Hurry up. For your name be getting put on that list, bro. I'm not going to keep asking you the same thing. All right. What's your name and your badge number? Write that down while you're standing right here.
I'm not writing anything down. It's capital. You can read right there.
What's your badge number?
24328.
I need it written down.
It'll be on your ticket.
All right. Make sure it's on my ticket.
Keep your hands out of your pockets while
All right, I will. But it's on record, though.
You can record.
And I told you I don't have a weapon.
You're being recorded, too.
I told you I don't have a weapon.
Cool.
All right, so we both record. That part. Finna be walking to work in the next fucking 15 minutes anyway.
Use the crosswalk like you're supposed to.
Man, bro, don't tell me what to do.
Okay, keep crossing that road.
Just write the ticket.
Okay.
That's all you're gonna be able to do. Kapke. Shit, I gotta go to work. I bet you that's all you can do.
I can arrest you for crossing those tracks.
Arrest me for crossing the track when I told you I'm on my way to work?
I absolutely can. It is a class 1 misdemeanor for the trespassing.
You just said you were finna write a ticket.
That's my discretion. I can write a ticket. I can take you to jail. I can give you a warning. That's up to me, man.
Man, bro, you gotta be better. You gotta be better, bro. You gotta be better, bro. At this time in America right now, you gotta be better, bro. I didn't do shit but cross the track trying to make it to work before I'm late. And you standing right here not writing a ticket, talking about you can take me to jail.
I could.
After I'm producing sensor needles for people so they don't poke their finger and can check their blood sugar. What am I doing wrong, bro?
Crossing the light rail track.
All right, so write the ticket.
I'm waiting for my partner.
You're making me late, bro.
No, you made yourself late by not leaving on time.
What you mean? I would have been there on time. I gotta clock in at 5:10. I've been here for 2 minutes.
Okay.
It's 5:07, bro. I would have been there on time.
I promise you, you're probably gonna be late.
Now I'm gonna be late because you're standing here.
If you left earlier, then you could have got here earlier.
Bro, you don't tell me when I need to get and clock in to work. Do you understand that?
I'm just trying to help you understand.
I just want to help you understand. You don't tell me when I clock in and when I can get there on time. I've been there on time the last fucking 30 days.
But I am here to tell you can't cross the light rail track.
And I understand that, so write the ticket, bro.
My partner's right here.
Say less. Unbelievable shit in America right now. Nothing else better to do but stop a black man for crossing the track. Man, good you here, bro. This is unbelievable. The worst fucking police officer in Tempe. Mesa, period. I'm on my way to work. I cross the track. He's sitting at the light, and he hits the lights. I tell him I'm on my way to work. I got to be at Dexcom in 7 minutes. Oh, but you're going to stand here until my partner gets here. I'm like, write the ticket, bro. All you got to do is write it, and I can get to work on time. No. You're going to wait for my partner to get here. Run my ID, bro. What are you waiting on? He's like, oh, no, I'm not. I'm going to wait for my partner to get here. You're going to be late. I'm like, bro, I'm not going to go to jail. I don't have a warrant. I got to be at Dexcom at 5:06. I start recording, bro, because it's like, bro, you're really just trying to make me late for work. You want to be an asshole, and I didn't ask you, I didn't do nothing wrong, bro. But cross the tracks trying to get to work. And I get that. That was wrong. So I deserve a ticket. But write the ticket, bro, so I can go. He's like, no. I'm like, I'm recording this shit now. Because I don't even trust you now, bro. Because it's like you being all the way extra right now, bro. People cross that track. And I get it. I got caught. I get it. But damn, bro, don't be an asshole, bro. So I start recording, bro.
Hey, how y'all doing? Officer Code TPD, do you have your driver's license?
What happened?
Well,
Yeah.
your
What did
tent is illegal, so I want to test it and let you know for sure.
Oh, well, I'm not letting you test it, so you can write it. You can write a ticket.
Okay. So you're not going to let me test your tent?
No, sir, you can go ahead and write the ticket. I'm not sure if I have it, and I don't just want to be fumbling around in it. But I do have my own registration and everything.
You don't have your driver's license with you?
I'm not sure.
Where y'all headed?
I was going to get my baby sister.
Okay.
Hey, man, I got to get rid of this car. It's the car. It's always a problem. They always think I'm a male. I'm not. Here we go, actually.
A male? I'm going to have to test your tent. I mean, I'd rather do that than have to take it further than that. So, can you just roll it up a little?
Yes, sir. Let me call my daddy.
Once everyone gets overhead, we'll go through this breaking up fence.
Okay. What are you calling him for?
Property.
You just said you could write the ticket.
No, I have to test it to know where it's at.
Daddy, I done got pulled over. And here's all the way black. Daddy, I just got pulled over. This officer literally waited. He literally went in a neighborhood to pull, like he went in a neighborhood.
There's nothing
waiting for me to
against I
pull
can't
out
do
so he
that.
could jump
That's
behind
fine.
me.
Please.
Now he's talking about my team, but I told him I don't want him to test my team. Just write the ticket.
Sir, if she doesn't let me test it, she'll go to jail. This is ridiculous. I'm just.
He said if I don't let him test my tent, then I'm going to jail.
Yeah.
But this man is literally targeting me. He literally purposely drove through a neighborhood. That's what I thought. I know you can't go to jail for.
Right now, she's resisting this investigation. So if she can't roll the window up,
You can't.
sir,
You don't have to cooperate.
Daddy, can
Excuse
you
me?
please come here?
okay, you have
Where
to.
you at?
You have to
I'm
cooperate.
at the same store where I just got a gun pulled at me at. This man got me at the same spot where I just got a gun pulled at me.
I'm really not trying to do this today.
Yes, sir.
Ask him, is that an order?
Yes, it's an order. It's a lawful order for you to roll your window up a little bit so I can test it. I'm not trying to do this
But what if she
today.
don't want to let you test it?
Then
You can't take her to jail,
then
correct?
she'll be resisting the whole investigation.
That's not resistance.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is because you're not allowing me to do my job.
Okay, listen, she don't have to help you do your job.
Yes, she does.
She don't have to help you investigate. Okay, take her to jail and I'm
It's
gonna
not
just
a
do y'all.
lawsuit.
Do your job then.
It's not a lawsuit.
Do your job and we're gonna see.
Can I talk to you and not him, please?
He said he want to talk to me and not you, but I don't feel the need to talk to him because
It don't matter. You don't have to let
You
him
waited for me to pull out of that
That
neighborhood
doesn't
to get
matter.
behind
None
me,
of that
sir.
matters.
You literally did that.
Ma'am, if you just roll your window up a little bit, I'm going to test it, and then I'll let you
No,
know
no,
where it's at.
you don't have to cooperate.
Can you just write me the ticket, sir, and we can do it like that?
I need to know where it's at. What's your ticket?
He can't write you a ticket if he can't test.
Exactly. So now you're
That's
making
why
my
he wants
job
you to let him
impossible.
test.
That's the definition of resisting. So if you can just roll it up a little bit, I'll test it and let you know. If it's illegal, it's illegal. If it's good, I'm going to let you go. If it's illegal, I was thinking about just giving you a warning. You're making it really difficult, man.
Tell him to call the sergeant. Tell him to call the sergeant. I'm heading over there. Tell him to call the sergeant.
Okay.
Right there on Adam.
The same place where I just got a gun pulled at me at, Daddy. The same place I just got a gun pulled at me at. This store right here on Spring Hill in Springstack. You got a long way.
747. It don't matter. You tell him to call the sergeant.
The driver's requesting a sergeant. They're being uncooperative with the
Calling the sergeant right now.
Okay, yeah, because you don't got to roll your window. I don't know what he's talking about. You don't got to help him with his investigation.
They literally targeted me that. He turned into a neighborhood and waited for me to pull out. Then I tell you too.
Just wait on the sergeant. We need to go.
All right. I told you, bro. It's too hard. They swear they gonna have a dope boy when I roll this window down.
74701. My driver's requesting a sergeant to the stop. So yeah, so when your tent is dark and an officer's telling you to roll the window up so that they can test it and tell you where it's at, and you refuse to do that, you're refusing to do something unlawful. Okay. So we'll just wait on the supervisor to get here.
Yes, sir.
Are y'all needing a dog for that, or y'all good?
Oh, they can get the dog.
That's not what's not. That's not what this stop. This chick works for the Department of Corrections.
Yes, sir. 18441.
What does she work at? I don't know, but she ain't rolling her window down, so I can do a tent check. I told her it's illegal. I rolled it up, brother. Oh, you took his death from resistance? Just did. Well, she said get a supervisor. It's all right, we'll get a supervisor. She works at DOC. I'm trying to work with her, but put his feet where?
Put his feet up.
I don't care. Are you on your way to work?
No, sir, I'm not.
You on the way home from work?
Yeah, she just came home from work and she picked me up from
I'm just wondering because you're in a state of Florida.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's what happened.
I'm an officer just like this.
Okay, so I was just asking if you're on the way or on the way home. Y'all probably would have been out of here by now if you had just complied. I'm just trying to.
My dad on the way in the sergeant.
Your dad? Well, who's your dad?
It's fine. It doesn't matter who he is.
Exactly, it doesn't.
It doesn't. Just like
Governor or whatever. So your dad coming it's not going to stop me from doing my job.
Yes, sir. It's not. That's understood.
The power game don't work with us.
Yes, sir. Understood.
We take an oath to do our job no matter what.
It's darker than mine.
Okay, well, I'm on this stop right now.
We know.
Okay?
We know.
Not trying to be a jerk,
We
but
know.
at this point.
Because y'all swear I'm a DY. I swear to God, every day I get followed every single day because of this car. Every single day. Like last night, I got followed by 2.
Well, I was just stopping you because of the tent.
It's always something every single day.
Why don't you tint the
Well,
back?
It's not me every day, so
Check the back.
okay, but you can't
Test the
blame
back.
me on
Every
that.
single day. It's the same thing, whether it's a TPD or
They
a
said you were
sheriff, I get
speeding last
followed.
time, so maybe that's why they stopped you. So you were
I
speeding.
wasn't speeding last time. I just got stopped yesterday. I didn't even get stopped. They followed me and then they see my uniform and backed off twice
Okay.
in the same night. So
I couldn't see your uniform because your tent is so dark.
It's okay.
Even if I did see
You never
it.
seen these windows up, sir?
Yes, I did.
Okay, the windows was literally down. We were sitting right there looking on our, what was we looking on our phone? Like,
Down when she left my house.
Your window is up, sir.
She is still screaming, but we got you. We got you. 911, they're coming. You're good. You're good. Oh, man, it's a situation. We will get back to you in a little bit. I'm going to go see if I can help this lady out a little bit more, you guys. I'll be back.
All right, Bob. There's Bob Van Dillen. We were with Bob just a little while ago, and he said, hold on, I'm going to go help that lady in that car. And he joins us right now from one of the areas around Atlanta. Bob, tell us, when we saw you last, there was a lady in that white car behind you, and we could hear her screaming her head off during your live shot, and eventually you said, I've called 911, but the water was rising, and you had to do something, so pick up the story.
Steve, I know that we're swamped here with all the 911 calls because there's so many high water rescues that we've already documented so far, and call 911 in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and you could hear her screaming, right? You could hear it during my live shot real loud, and that's her car right there. Windshield wipers are still on. So I just said, you know what, I realize I'm with you guys, I'm on the air, but I can't.
That's crazy. That's.
I'm inclined to believe that DJ Khaled is on some tapes. DJ Khaled, I'm noticing that a lot of motherfuckers is quiet. Now, you know DJ Khaled is Diddy's neighbor. So is Rick Ross. And so now that second came out, this is the second sector that said that he was a prostitute for Diddy and used to fuck Diddy and Cassie and, you know, all types of shit. But, you know, the DJ Khaled thing just really hit me in my heart because he's Muslim. Not only is he Muslim, he came out saying that he don't eat pussy like he was Jamaican, right? Now that the worker came out and said they're all gay. Diddy, Khaled, Rick Ross, they're all neighbors, they all gay, they all go to these parties. And I just had to ask myself, this is just my opinion, because I ain't seen this motherfucker slipping nobody's ass, but I'm like, if you Muslim, 2 questions. You a man, you're not Jamaican, you don't eat no pussy. Why did you feel the need to come out and tell us that you don't eat pussy? And 2, why do you call your girlfriend your wife when she's not? Muslim African men marry the women that they're with. This is not like this is like a video hoe or somebody that's going to take half of his fortune. She's from his culture. They have 2 children together. I'm just trying to figure out, like, what's taking him so long to marry her? He already got the career. He got the money. What is it? Why he won't marry her? She's a wholesome woman. They not married. No. When the sex worker came out and said that DJ Khaled was gay and Rick Ross and them, like, they're hypersexual men. What happens with hypersexual men tend to almost always be gay because they're so hypersexually. It's like anything.
Yo, that's crazy. She said they're neighbors. Them being neighbors, like, that kind of says a lot. Them 3 being neighbors right next, like, they had to be at all the parties. Had to be.
Watch this video before it's removed from the internet.
See, my surrogate mother was Viola Armstrong. She had a son named Neil. Oh, really? As you know, the story goes, he went down to Antarctica, had a heart attack, stroke combo, and came back, and then there was stuff on the internet, and I had to look at Buzz and ask him, Buzz, what happened down there, Bud? Buzz did say one thing, and it just stuck in my head. It's the way he said it. He just said, we thought out things we shouldn't. And if Buzz saw something, I don't know what it was, but it was enough to give the man a heart attack. So if there are beings down there, I would think these beings never planned on us. They've been there, they came in millions of years ago. They've been under ice for millions of years. I don't think they were expecting us.
Let me add something about Buzz Aldrin, that there was this very cryptic tweet that came out during his stay down there. He said, "We have seen the faces of evil and we're all in danger." And this is right before he had his heart attack. And I can tell you, logistically, to do a medical evacuation from the interior of Antarctica is very difficult and very expensive. So something must have majorly gone wrong.
To underscore the fact that when the C-130 crew had dropped them off, they disappeared. And then when they went to try to find them, there was nothing at the National Science Foundation camp at all. Nothing
They were
moving.
gone.
They were totally gone. And when they did show up, they had been missing for a couple of weeks. And Brian S. and the C-130 flight crew were then sent back. And they were expecting that they would see this group of scientists out to meet their plane, doing this, yelling, something. And he said they were lined up like birds on a wire. They were all kind of next to each other, and most of them had their heads down, looking at their feet when the C-130 was pulling up. And that somebody had to go from the flight crew over to the scientists and direct them to get onto the plane. And they talked about how not one single scientist said one word. Most of them walked with their looking down at the ground. Brian said when they got them loaded up, he said to his flight chief, "What in the world? Where have they been?" And the flight chief said, "I don't know. We can't get a word out of them." And during the flight, Brian went and sat down next to one of the scientists, and he said he leaned over and touched the scientist's knee, and the man never looked up. And he said, it was as if we were dealing with 12 or 15 people who had suffered post-traumatic shock syndrome, that they were unnaturally frozen in their position and no speaking, and that they all looked afraid. That one of the SEALs that I have talked to that is not in the video said that as they walked for a mile or 2 miles into these very strange created architectures, they reached a point where something started coming through the walls out into the air. At first, it would go in and out of visibility, and then they realized that their minds were being manipulated, and then when they could see it clearly, and it was coming in and out like a television signal in the air, it appeared to be covered with scales, like an armadillo, the surface of an armadillo. And he said, when you are face to face with something like that, and you are trained in military to kill, but you're dealing with something you've never seen, and it can go in and out of visibility, and you know that your mind is being taken over by something that you are fighting. He said that happened in one of those corridors, and that was 2012.
That's some crazy stuff right there. Imagine seeing that. Like, just like us humans down here, we be thinking we're all tough, you feel me? Anybody can get it type shit. And then you just see some shit just go straight to the wall. Looking how she described. What do you do in that situation? Literally, like, crazy stuff out there that we do not know about.
From the internet.
63 years old now. I was born on September 17th, 1949. I haven't aged in 35 years. I stopped aging when my kidney. See, what happens is, 2 years ago in London, they discovered the gene that causes aging in the human being. When I died when I was 25, my aging genes and my cells died also, and my DNA, according to what the doctors have been able to surmise. So my aging gene, because it's gone, I stopped aging at the age of 25. I've probably aged 5 years in the last 38 years. So like my cousin who was 114, I probably will live to be still be young like this when I'm 100 years old, which would be cool. But it's with this program being as unique as it is, and so important to the existence of this planet and all species on this planet, It's unique that I was chosen with this as a meek person. Now, what does the word meek mean to you? Some people say it means timid or shy or weak. The word meek means I have absolute power over all things on the planet. And I have discretion. In other words, I'm a teacher. That's what the word meek means, that I have absolute power, but I teach people. I don't hurt people with this technology. Even though I am the judge prosecutor, because the judges are the ones that go out and harvest the people, I sit down with the judges and I say, listen, here's your signed confession. You can choose 30 years in prison, or you're the guy that created, you buried the bodies, now go dig them up. Or retire. That's it. You got 3 choices. Because if you think you're going to continue, ain't going to happen. So, and that's unique. And I've been, I have a lot of people all the way across the world at the top of the food chain, ambassadors, presidents. I was elected King of Hawaii in June of 1997. That's not a joke. 72 Hawaiian families got together and they elected me the King of Hawaii. But I am a king over one thing: parse, syntax, grammar. Now, grammar controls contract. So all contracts, treaties, and trusts with the United States government and the Postal Service are a result of what is written on paper. I don't interfere with any culture on planet Earth. I don't interfere with any political organization, religious beliefs, nothing. My sole purpose is contract. What is a preposition? What is an article? What is a fact? Or I should rephrase it. What is a position? What is a lodial? What is a fact? So when I was elected king, I was a king of contracts. That anybody, any 2 people, any 2 tribes within the Hawaiian 72 tribes. Same thing with the 1,200 Maori tribes and the 3,460 tribes of Australia. I hold those positions also. That I was elected into a position and adopted by their tribal councils to be in charge of contracts. And countries all over the world have asked me for help in the suppression that they've suffered from one country taking over their country. Take Ireland, for instance. In July, I did a radio show for the Irish Republic on their by internet radio. It was supposed to be a 20-minute spot, lasted 2 hours and 45 minutes. When I got off the radio, the next day my phone rang, and it was the Irish Parliament called me and said, could you write a constitution for us? And they said, how much time do you need? 3-4 months, they said. I says, how about tomorrow afternoon? He says, you're going to do a constitution for us in 1 day? He says, yeah. I says, I'll deliver it to you tomorrow. It'll be 59 paragraphs long. And I did. Overnight, I wrote it.
Do you guys really believe that this guy doesn't age? And he's just, that's like saying he has eternal life, right? Can't be.
This has been hidden from you on purpose. Did you know that the Great Wall of China is 13,171 miles long? And it is always downplayed throughout history. To put that in perspective, from the east to the west coast of America, it is on average 3,000 miles. Yet you have to times that by 4, then add another 1,000 miles, and you're still not at that number. This leaves you to wonder, how did they build such a wall, and why? I mean, did you even know that China was that big? They started to build the wall before Jesus had even walked the earth. No ruler with a sane mind would dedicate so much time and resources to building something with no purpose. This is where it takes a turn. The ruler that ordered it to be built knew it would take over 1,000 years. Who were they defending against that they needed all 13,000 miles to even have a chance at winning? What or who were they so scared of? Numerous reports, maps, and old photos suggest that the wall was built by the Tartarian Empire. If you look at old photos, the steep side of the Great Wall and even the lookout posts are actually facing China, meaning that it was not built by China. It was in fact to keep whatever was in China. This
I love stories about the wall. I feel like there's not enough stories told and said about the wall, like why it was built and what it was for.
No one tells you that the alignment of ancient structures with star constellations like the pyramids in Egypt might not be as ancient as we are being led to believe. We've been conditioned to see these alignments as evidence of our ancestors' advanced astronomical knowledge, but what if there is more to the story? The pyramids in Giza are often celebrated for their precise alignment with Orion's belt. We are told that this alignment is proof of the Egyptians' deep understanding of the cosmos. But consider this: how much of this alignment is original, and how much could have been subtly adjusted during modern restoration efforts? Throughout the 20th century, countless ancient sites underwent renovations and reconstructions by modern archaeologists and engineers. But these projects were not just about preservation. They often involved significant repositioning and alteration. Stones were moved, structures rebuilt, and sometimes entire layouts were shifted. Is it possible that during these restorations, certain alignments were emphasized, exaggerated, or even fabricated to fit a compelling narrative? By maintaining the idea that these alignments are untouched remnants of ancient genius, those in power continue to promote a story that captivates and controls. The question we should be asking is, are we marveling at the achievements of our ancestors, or at the careful work of modern hands shaping history to fit a profitable narrative?
So guys, that is the end of the video. I hope you guys liked what you guys seen and watched. You know, like I always say, do your own research on things. Don't always believe everything you see on these videos that are surfing on media. If you like this video, give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Peace.